Well, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? So welcome to our brand new series of Sun through Signs. And yes, I know you guys are probably thinking, well, he's just going to give us the regular information that we hear all over the place about what does it mean to have Sun in the sign of Aries, if you're born with Sun in the sign of Aries. Well, I'm going to give you some additional information that maybe not too many astrologers give you out there. Okay, so this is going to be quite a unique placement. You know, as much as you think this is a very mundane placement and you already know about it, you may not know about it as in detail as you think, especially if you're new to this concept or new to my channel, where I go into a lot more detail about these things. So we're going to use Sun in the sign of Aries. Sun is in the sign of Aries for about 30 days. We all know that, okay? But hardly people know what Sun is about and what Aries is about, okay? What is the sign of Aries? The sign of Aries represents your individual action. You know, sign of Aries it's connected to the first house, which is your physical body. That means it represents taking action with your physical body, whether it's getting into a fight, whether it's getting into sports competition, whether it's using your individual ego to progress in life. That's what Aries is about. It's about using your individual power in this life, you know, to do things in your workspace, in your personal space, in your spiritual space. In this life, you are here to personalize your ego and understand yourself. Okay, and then you bring in Sun here. What is Sun? If you're new to my channel, Sun is not just this thing that goes around the zodiac and sets your personality. Sun is the significator of your personality, but that's one of its significance. Sun also represents your soul. What exactly does your soul want in this life? Sun represents your father. How your relationship with the father is going to be. What your father might be doing in this life. You can tell by a person's horoscope. Okay? And Sun represents government. Sun represents authority. So whenever you see any, like President Obama, or your president or prime minister of your country, that is Sun speaking to you. Government, control. You know, government is like that kingdom in this day and age. So that is what Sun is. Okay. So when you bring these two individual energies together, well, first of all, Sun becomes exalted here, especially in the first 10 degrees. Sun feels, because Sun is the king. A king operates on a single throne, which is Aries. Aries is that one singular energy, that one singular ego, and Sun is your ego. So these people feel that in this life they have a lot of confidence and they have a lot of stamina and vitality to take care of every action in this life. Especially if Sun is in the first house of your astrological chart. You see, it's not just you have Sun in Aries. The biggest question is, what house is your Sun is in? You can have a Sun in the sign of Aries in the first house, or in the second house, or in the 12th house. What does it mean? You know, but basically Sun in the sign of Aries represents that somebody who needs to take control of their action, who is confident enough to take control of their action no matter where Sun is placed. So let's say Sun is in the 12th house of spirituality, of isolation, of being alone, of spiritual sanctuaries, foreign places. What it shows that you will be, if Sun is in Aries in the 12th house, that you will be very spiritually inclined towards knowing in your individual self by yourself. You will be forced to go into places where you'll be isolated. Go into places where you will be forced to know yourself by being alone, by being in nature, and by meditating and using your own self to master your own destiny. So in any house that it goes, you know, it'll do that. Whether if it's a 4th house, in 4th house you're taking responsibility in your own home. You're finding yourself in your own deepest sanctuary, and through your mother you will find home. Your mother will take the role of the father, because 4th house is a house of mother. Sun is the father, okay? And Aries represents individuality. So mother will be this confident individual who might actually be a single mother in your life, and she will take the role of the father and the mother and she will raise you, through which you will know yourself. You will know what it's about to, how does a home operate. You see, so when Sun is exalted, the person becomes very confident, very self-motivated, and they're able to take action on their own, and realize who they are. No matter what house they're placed in the first house, you will realize yourself. You will be a leader type personality. You will be this type A personality that, hey, I'm here to take charge. I'm here to manage everything else in my life, including my career or people I work with. So that means you are becoming a manager of your career. You're becoming a manager of the people that you work with. So this is how you see it. Now, if Sun is in the sign of Aries in the first house, it shows that your father might be in the government. Your father could be a business owner. Your father can also be an athlete. Like, there's a lot of people who are athletes and then they have kids, like David Beckham and Michael Jordan and Sachin Tendulkar. All these people have their fine. And if their kids have Sun in Aries, it'll signify that, hey, your father is this person who uses his physical body to make an income. So whether it's a fighter, a soldier, a sports athlete, or an individual businessman, that this is how you can study what Sun in the sign of Aries does. But now you're going to learn one of the tricky parts. Maybe you're not acting like you're a Sun in Aries. Maybe you're acting like something else. And all of these things determined from two things. First of all, in astrology, there's 27 constellations that are working behind the zodiac sign. So in this zodiac sign of Aries, you will have these 3 constellations or 2.5 constellations. So in Aries, you'll have these 3 constellations known as Ashwini, Bhrani, and Kritika. And these 3 constellations are ruled by 3 different planets. They're ruled by the south node of the moon, Ketu, they're ruled by Venus, and then they're ruled by Mars. And that's what also going to mold your personality. But that's a bit more of an advanced thing, which we'll cover later. But anytime your Sun is in Aries, who's the Lord of Aries? Mars. So imagine Sun is in the house of Mars. Like, this is the house called Aries, and I'm Sun. And I have a landlord who is Mars, who controls this house. And I have to abide by the rules of Mars. And Mars is a soldier. Mars is this general. Mars is that energy to go out and do everything, ability to go out and fight and win battles. This is why Sun is exalted here, because Sun takes control of his army. Sun takes control, that the king takes control of the army and the general, and the Mars obeys by his rules. So in order to see how well your confidence is, how good your confidence is, how good your self-esteem is in the sign of Aries, you have to always look at the position of Mars. What sign Mars is placed in, what house Mars is placed in, and who's in conjunction or aspect to Mars. Because if Mars is weak, Sun in Aries will not always mean that, oh, I'm this confident, individualistic personality who is able to go out and be headstrong. No, you might be absolutely introverted. You might actually shy away from finding your individuality, you taking the leadership role because of the fact the landlord is weak. When the landlord is weak, it's like the foundation of the house is very weak. You're always scared that there's going to be a sinkhole that will happen and you're going to get sucked down like this guy in Florida. Okay, and rest his soul in peace. That was just a horrific thing. Imagine just your bed going 60 feet down. Yeah. So this is how Sun feels. So when Mars is weak, Sun is not going to be able to feel that confidence in Aries. Sun will be very turbulent. And sometimes Sun can become cunning, depending on if, let's say, Mars is in the 8th house in Scorpio and Sun is in the 1st house in Aries. It can show that the person will try to manipulate his way to finding his throne. If Mars is in the sign of Cancer, that means Mars is debilitated. This person will lack a lot of confidence. This person will make a lot of mistakes in trying to find themselves and trying to find their ego. They'll be very angry. They will think that through anger I can find my ego, but that's not the case. So you have to always look at these placements, and that's how you would know what is Sun in Aries is doing. You see, these are the things that a lot of books don't talk about, a lot of people don't talk about. But this is why people lose enthusiasm in astrology. That, oh, my sun sign is Aries, but I'm nothing like Aries. This is why you're not like Aries, okay? But if you want to know more detail about, who you are, well, check out the links below. Check out my books there, Astrology at the Speed of Light and Conjunctions at the Speed of Light. And when you get these two books, I will send you the link to look at your own chart so you can see where's your Mars is placed and where's your Sun is placed if it's in Aries. So you can determine if my Sun is strong or not. Otherwise, this was my analysis of Sun in the sign of Aries. And we'll do Sun in the sign of Taurus next time. Otherwise, we'll see you. Bye-bye.